Alrighty, y'all. Welcome back to another live stream here on the channel. Glad to see you guys all in here today. We just got a tornado warning as we're starting, so we're gonna just dive right on into this briefly. Then I will welcome all of you guys here. Let's go ahead and switch to our tornado warning scene because that is what we're currently at. Let's go take a look at this tornado warning. So we have an imminent strong tornado out here in Deep River, Iowa. You can see the angle of that hook echo. It's on the northern edge of a line, so that promotes extra inflow inside the supercell. So you've got an embedded supercell all right here. Not anything classic by any means, but just the way how that inflow and outflow wrap around each other, that promotes the potential for a tornado out of this, and a strong tornado at that. So make sure you're seeking shelter if you're out there in Deep River, Iowa. This could potentially be on the ground at any given second. Here comes another tornado warning.
Tornado warning for northern Keokuk County in southeastern Iowa, northwestern Washington County in southeastern Iowa, southern Iowa County in east central Iowa, Keokuk, and Washington County in Iowa.
I want to hear that county one more time. I couldn't even pronounce it correctly. So that's an extension to your tornado warning. This could be producing a strong tornado at any given second. So if you're inside this warning in eastern Iowa, seek shelter immediately. If you're in Millersburg, Iowa, Parnell, Iowa, South English, Iowa, North English, Iowa, Thornsburg, Iowa. We also have, let's see, Kinross, Iowa, south of Williamsburg, Iowa, and of course Deep River still need to be in your safe spot. This could produce a significant tornado at any given second. Overnight, our hurricane decided to rapidly intensify thanks to a very tiny eye. Very, very tiny eye. This is actually, the eye is closing now. That's what it is. The storm's beginning to weaken. It's been battering wind shear all day, trying its best to wrap that convection around to protect the inner core of the eye wall, and it's just not holding on. So this storm is definitely on that weakening trend. It should maintain Category 4 intensity, probably until it makes landfall over Jamaica, where it will weaken to a Category 3 either at or just barely before landfall in Jamaica. We're now anticipating a landfall on the southeastern quadrant of Jamaica with the potential for catastrophic impacts. This storm's a lot more north than I thought it would be. A lot closer to Dominican Republic than I thought it would be. So we'll go over the forecast track. We'll go over some model runs. The U.S. being impacted is still 100% on the table today. And we'll see if that changes tomorrow. We'll see if those model runs pull a U-turn on us or not. I was kind of expecting to wake up, see the 12Z European ensembles, and they just go right into Mexico and skip the U.S. But that doesn't seem to be the case. It looks like we may have a last-second turn to the north-northeast to bring this up towards either northern Mexico, or even worse, we could go right up towards Texas and maybe even Louisiana as well. So this storm, again, like I said, after we ended the live stream on the gaming channel yesterday, it got that pinhole eye, which promoted it to get a Category 5 status at 160 miles per hour. Overnight, it continued to intensify, upwards of 165 mile an hour winds sustained with gusts of 200, where it peaked yesterday right around 09Z this morning, I believe, which is actually this morning and not yesterday. 09Z this morning is when this storm peaked at intensity. Absolutely insane Category 5 hurricane, and that is another new tornado warning. We'll have to dive into this a little bit later. It seems like we got too much activity happening in Iowa. Yeah, that's the other storm now, tornado warned. Gracious day. Yeah, that could easily
Tornado
produce.
warning for northeastern Monroe County in south-central Iowa, northwestern Wapello County in southeastern Iowa, southeastern Mahaska County in south-central Iowa, Mahaska, Monroe, and Wapello County in Iowa.
We'll keep an eye on these. Come back to them every once in a while. I'll name what's in the tornado warnings, and if it's confirmed, then we'll go full-blown coverage. I don't know where Connor is. I just thought about that, dude. Connor, where are you? I know a lot of chasers actually called it quits because they thought it was too messy. Let's see if Connor was one of those people to call it quits. We're going to go right back over to talking about the hurricane stuff. Connor's inside this tornado warning. Connor is inside this tornado warning right here. Wow, that is wild. So Eddyville, Kirksville, if I'm saying that right, make sure you're seeking shelter. Fremont, make sure you're seeking shelter. Tornadoes imminent with both of these storms. Connor's in the rain band here, so he won't be able to see too much. So we'll continue our continue talking about Beryl here for until we get a confirmed warning, because that's what the main live stream should be about today. Let me go ahead and welcome you guys. Let's see, we got that random guy in here. We have Caleb, we have Pete, we also have Caden, Johnny, Storm Dakota, Catman, Catman, welcome to the stream as well. Parliament, Victoria, Michael, and Haley, everybody else who's also tuning in. May not be chatting. Glad to have you here as well. Hopefully you guys are having a fantastic day. But yeah, currently we are looking at, let me go ahead and flop on your satellite imagery. This is going to be the weakening record hurricane out here, which is currently at the intensity of 155 miles per hour, still 155. That's what it was yesterday, or not yesterday, but when I last checked. I last checked this about 3-4 hours ago, so I guess they didn't change much on that new update. No, it looks like they kept it relatively the same, so still chilling there at 155 mile per hour wind speeds, gust of 190. We are now expecting a very close landfall, or very close near miss, if not landfall on Jamaica. It should hit the south central portion of the island, right near another tornado warning, the Kingston area. Let's go back to Iowa. We just got a 4th tornado warning.
Tornado warning for Appanoose County in south central Iowa, Appanoose County in Iowa.
Ooh, that might be on the ground. Okay. Let's go ahead and pull out the other radar here. Well, shoot. I made a thumbnail for coverage today, but it didn't pan out, so I didn't plan on putting that as the main thumbnail today, but we may have to switch right on over. Okay, this doesn't show it on the ground. I wanted to take a look at both radars here. We could easily have a tornado on the ground at any given second with any of these storms, as they are all fairly intense. Centerville, oh, that's where one of my friends live. Centerville, Iowa, make sure you're seeking shelter. Geez, that's a strong storm. There's a lot of severe weather happening here, y'all. We are probably going to switch into full-blown coverage thanks to these 4 tornado warnings. So I apologize. I will continue to talk about the tropics every once in a while once we wait for new scans here. But just make sure you're in your safe spot. Centerville, Iowa, Unionville, Iowa. We also have Exline, Iowa, in a tornado warning. Avery, Iowa in a tornado warning, Eddyville, Kirkville, Fremont, Deep River, Thornburg, Millersburg, North and South English, Parnell, Kinross. A lot of people inside those tornado warnings now. I could go ahead and give you an estimate of how many people are inside all those warnings. The new one for Centerville, just under 10,000 people inside that warning. The one for Kirksville, which is this middle one here. Actually, Kirksville, yeah, that should be this one. Yeah, yep. This one's for Kirksville. That is for 35,000 people. The one for North and South English in Parnell as well for 5,000 people. And then the one west of that for Deep River is for 2,000 people. So a whole lot of people under those tornado warnings. Hopefully everybody is seeking shelter. Remember, tornado warning means a tornado is imminent or possibly even on the ground. So make sure you are seeking shelter immediately, as a tornado could develop at any given moment. All right, so whilst we wait for the new scan, which should be actually 20 seconds, so we'll just sit here till we get that new scan, then we'll move back over to talking about Beryl. We're going to be doing kind of co-coverage here, going between our tropical stuff, our tropical ensembles and model runs, and then going right back to our tornado coverage as well. Also want to note the ensembles once again are continuing to shift more to the north-northwest. I actually didn't look at too many of them today. So while we wait for that, weather nerds. I'm pretty sure a lot of our ensembles have shifted north-northeast. Okay, that northern one no longer looks intense. Typically these QLCS or northern edge of the line type tornadoes, typically they're pretty strong and as well as pretty brief, because normally they can't maintain for long thanks to being embedded inside that line. So we'll see, but it really varies. That's the type of situation where it's really depending on the ingredients. It always depends on the ingredients, but line tornadoes like QLCS tornadoes, especially on the northern edge, they could really do just about anything. But I do want to go over to our guidance here for Beryl. A lot of ensembles have a last second curve. A lot of ensembles have a last second curve. So here's all the ensembles that we have currently. Is this the older one compared to the newer one or what? Okay, I don't really see the difference. I see the difference here. I just can't tell if it's the newer one compared to the older one. Oh, okay. They're the same. Got it. They are the same. Let me show you guys the track here. Just going to check that one more time. I don't see any debris signature. Just because there's not a debris signature doesn't mean it's not on the ground. We're far from the radar site, so we could easily have a tornado on the ground and not be able to detect it from radar. So let's do the next 240 hours. This is your GEFS ensembles. And they actually, again, they do take it some of them take it just south of Jamaica and barely making landfall on Jamaica. That's really what we're looking at. Is the potential for just barely hitting a landfall here in Jamaica or passing off to the south. Regardless, a considerable amount of these ensembles are showing that Beryl will continue to weaken over the next couple hours as it encounters that wind shear, but still maintain Category 3 intensity. So we should drop to a high in Cat 3 for Jamaica, progress towards the Yucatan Peninsula as most likely a Category 1 hurricane, make landfall, weaken into a tropical storm in the Gulf, and then possibly curve back towards Texas last second as a tropical storm as well. That is based off your GEFS ensemble. So a lot of agreement on the potential for a northeastern turn last second turning to the northeast into Texas. So we'll keep an eye on those ensembles. And then I do want to show you the European ensembles, which are a lot more aggressive, a whole lot more aggressive with the intensity. Maintaining that Category 4 intensity over Jamaica, then starting to weaken into a Category 1, Category 2 hurricane for landfall in the Yucatan Peninsula, progressing back into the Southwest Gulf and intensifying into some even show a Category 4 hurricane, and then pulling back up to the northeast. So European also has a lot of agreement there as well on that northeastern turn into Texas. So U.S. impacts are at this point they are almost anticipated. They're not anticipated just yet, but the National Hurricane Center, let's just check all of these, make sure none of them are observed. All right, but the National Hurricane Center, they did move their cone even more, and it does actually include the southern tip of Texas now. So we're really anticipating impacts. We're really anticipating impacts. As a matter of fact, let me go check the Weather Prediction Center. If they have something out. Not yet. They don't have it out just yet. But they do have they actually have a tropical storm making landfall in northeastern Mexico, southern Texas. So that would be, they're forecasting, the Weather Prediction Center, National Hurricane Center, both forecasting U.S. impacts from this system, which makes a lot of sense. It would be very limited to just the coastline and really just isolated rainfall is what we're anticipating. Anything more than that, we're just going to have to wait and see until we get closer to determine exactly how bad it may be. We just got another severe watch. Gracious day. Yeah, so that's your quick tropical update. I may have to change the title of everything. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and do that now. We're going to go ahead and just switch into full-blown coverage, so give me a second to change that title. What's the hail threat today? Upwards of 2-inch hail. So we'll do 70 mph winds. There we go. Switch that, and switch that. Okay, and we're also going to change that thumbnail. Glad I made another thumbnail. I made a thumbnail for coverage because I expected to be live at like 4-ish. Alright, there you go. So now we're changing to full coverage on these things, and we'll still do your tropical updates, but this stuff's becoming too much of a primary concern here. We currently have 4 tornado warnings active. They are in a radar hole, so we'll be monitoring it very, very closely as best as we can. Our chaser, Connor Croft, I believe he's going to be diving south. I'm going to mute our desktop audio so I can see if I can hear what he's saying. Yeah, he doesn't have a solid target just yet. He's in between both of these tornado warnings. So if you're out in front of this, this is where NATOcast had the best chance for tornadoes. So I would be extremely, extremely weather aware if I'm in this area. Now, the National Weather Service, we're switching. The National Weather Service Storm Prediction Center, they also have a 5% out of this area. So if you are anywhere in this region here, in this area here, that is where we're going to be watching for the potential for a couple tornadoes as we go throughout the rest of the day here, probably all the way until 9-10 o'clock tonight. We'll be looking at the potential for a couple tornadoes with this activity as it moves off to the east. So we'll be monitoring that very, very closely. And none of these are currently on the ground, but we'll, again, watch them closely. We did just get another severe thunderstorm watch out there. So we now have watches all the way from Iowa, east central Iowa, all the way back down to north central Oklahoma. So a very large spread of watches currently out from the Storm Prediction Center. This watch back out here towards Wichita. Let's see if we... Okay, we do have that out here. Probabilities on that, very low for tornadoes. Main threat via milestone is damaging winds up to 70 miles per hour. The watch over Kansas City, Missouri... tornadoes can't be ruled out, but the highest threat by far is damaging winds upwards of 75 miles per hour. Large hail also upwards of 2.5-inch in diameter being a possibility. The tornado watch that's in effect in eastern Iowa. Tornadoes are a very real possibility. Damaging winds upwards of 70 miles per hour, as well as a couple hailstones upwards of 2 to 2.5-inch in diameter possible as well. So quite the watch probabilities. Not anything ridiculously high for this time of year, or anything that's like a shocker. But definitely a notable threat that's ongoing here. We could easily see a few tornadoes out of this threat, and maybe even a strong tornado, possibly even 2 out of this activity. I want to go and check the meso analysis. I have not checked it. Very favorable environment for the next 2 hours out here in southeastern Iowa. We don't have much of that lower level jet to speak of, so it's not too impressive lower level jet wise. Temperature dew point spread is not that bad. Wait, nope, it's pretty bad. 14-degree temperature dew point spread. So the main threat by far is going to be damaging winds with the potential for spin up tornadoes out of this line. The most favorable environment, let me see. They're moving into it right now. So these storms are moving into the most favorable environment currently. I don't see any storm that looks more impressive than the other. All three of these tornado warnings look very much capable of producing a tornado. So make sure you're in your safe spot if you're in any of these tornado warnings in eastern Iowa. Quite a dangerous situation that's unfolding here, and there's a chance this does grow upscale into a very short-lived MCS to the point where we don't see many tornadoes with this, and we just see a line of damaging winds. That would be at 8 o'clock, so the threat's expected to die down rapidly at 8:30. So we should be at this peak activity for 2 hours. That's what we're anticipating. So let me just go back to this once again. If you're not inside that tornado watch, tornadoes won't be much of a concern, but still can't rule out a brief tornado if you're anywhere in these watches here and where I've just put a box at. Primary threat, damaging winds and large hail, damaging winds upwards of 75 miles per hour, large hail upwards of 2.5 inch in diameter, and a tornado will also be possible. Now, if you're out here in the tornado watch, generally in this area here, that's where you're looking at the potential for 2 to 2.5 inch hail. However, that hail threat is decreased drastically because these storms are in a line. The potential for a couple tornadoes, can't rule out a strong tornado, as well as damaging winds potentially upwards of 80 miles per hour being a possibility, especially as we go towards the 7 o'clock time frame. Currently, it looks like the max wind threat at the moment is 70 miles per hour, but we could see an isolated instance of 80 with this. Highest tornado threat will be over the next hour and 38 more minutes in this area here. And then after that, this threat should rapidly decrease again. Around 8 o'clock, all hazards should decrease rapidly. Keyword in that is should. We did just lose our tornado warning up towards Kirksville. Not too surprised with that. It looked very much capable of producing a tornado when it was first warned. Now you can see that couplet broke up, but there is still a broad area of circulation here that we will need to monitor for the potential of redevelopment out of that storm. But the one I'm really going to be focusing on is probably that northern one, because that's going to have your best chance for the potential of a tornado over the next hour and a half here. But the whole line is going to be favorable for spin-up tornadoes. The entire line, all the way from up here towards where we have that tornado warning west of Iowa City, all the way back down towards northern Missouri. Not the best environment in place down here, but still could see a couple tornadoes out of any activity that manages to grow upscale there. And especially with any activity that can become semi-discrete. But this activity, again, it will die out rapidly after 8 o'clock because that capping is going to start building in. The sun's going to go down, of course. That's 8 o'clock Eastern, so only about an hour and 38 minutes for this stuff to really explode like it is already doing. So again, if you're just tuning in, we actually switched this from a tropical briefing to live weather coverage. Either way, I anticipate to stay live until 8 o'clock. I plan still to stay live until about 8:20. We're going to aim for 8:20 Eastern to end the live stream. So plenty of time for us to cover all this stuff, as well as do a bit of our tropical briefing, a bit more of it. So if you guys haven't already, make sure you hit that like button and share this stream with family, friends, social media, as many people as possible. Help get the word out about severe weather today. And we'll, again, also be talking about Beryl here. Quite frequently throughout the live stream, we'll switch between coverage and talking about Beryl. All right, here is the newest discussion from the Storm Prediction Center. The severe threat continues across watch issuance 497. Severe wind gust and QLCS tornadoes are going to be possible with the MCS over the next few hours. A mature QLCS is moving across portions of eastern Iowa into northern Missouri amid strong deep layer shear and buoyancy of 50 to 40 knots of effective bulk shear, 2,000 to 300 or 2,000 to 3,000 instability. Let's see. Leading edge of the line, multiple mesovortices have developed, showing 40-knot rotational velocities, suggesting that lower-level circulations are strong enough to support the potential for damaging winds as well as tornadoes. Let's see. Southeastern Iowa has the best ingredients and should remain the highest threat for tornado potential. Let's see where that mesoscale discussion is. I want to see exactly where it is. Yeah, it's over really the entire southeast quadrant of the watch. It's all right here. So this whole area here. This will not reach you, Caleb. Just letting you know that. If you're excited about severe weather. I don't know if you're back yet, but when you're back, I'll tell you that exact same thing. Michael, Southern Texas, it is 100% a possibility. I can't give you an exact probability, but currently it's forecasted to make landfall in northeastern Mexico, really right on the border of Mexico and Texas. So I can't give you like a percentage or anything, but it will definitely be a possibility. Yeah, at the moment, the northern one is the only one that I'm interested in, tornadic-wise. I really don't see much with that southern storm at the moment. And I'm basing that off of reflectivity presentation. The velocity's really not going to be able to determine much from that. But even if we were, the northern one looks more impressive. When you... Sometimes when you hear me say a bookend vortice, that's exactly what this storm's trying to do. See how it almost has like a backwards hook here? That is a bookend vortice. A bookend vortex is also what they're called as well. So that's where your tornado threat is going to be the highest over the next, at least until the tornado warning expires in just less than 30 minutes. But most likely for quite a while longer, that's going to be where your main tornado threat will be, as that line is successfully developed. At the moment, I don't believe this is a tornado on the ground by any means. But again, a tornado warning does mean a tornado is imminent or possibly even on the ground. So you do want to be in your safe spot if you're in any of these tornado warnings. We currently have 2 tornado warnings active. We did lose just 1 tornado warning a moment ago. So if you're in either one of these tornado warnings, make sure you're seeking shelter. This includes Millersburg, North English, South English, as well as Parnell in east central Iowa. Out here in south central Iowa, Centerville is inside of that tornado warning as well. I know Centerville is quite a populated area. We've had a few people from the channel tune in from Centerville, Iowa, so make sure you guys are seeking shelter there. Outside of Iowa, the most activity is in south central Kansas, where we currently have a significant severe for 70-mile-an-hour winds. This could be a destructive severe pretty soon. We have quite high velocities going right for Wichita. I know we've had a few viewers from Wichita. We actually might have a very, very dangerous line approaching Wichita right now. Wichita, Kansas. I'm going to go look for Kansas traffic cams. Go to that website I've saved. And Wichita is what we would be looking for here. Whenever it likes to load, that'd be fantastic. We're going to wait for KDOT to load. And then I will be able to see if we should have cameras in Wichita. If we don't, I'm rage quitting. Let's see. Let me get rid of all these incidents and everything. We just want the cameras. Yep, we have about 100 cameras in Wichita. Are they live? Dang it. Oh, they are. Never mind. All right, we do have live cameras in Wichita, Kansas. Let's go. All right, so as that approaches Wichita, I will let you guys see that. We may do our other scene here to where you guys can see both the radar and these traffic cams, but we'll wait for that. Velocity is currently, yeah, this might go destructive, you guys. This could go destructive quite easily for Wichita. Look at that. That pocket of potentially 80-mile-per-hour winds is heading right towards Wichita. So if you're in Wichita, I highly suggest seeking shelter immediately, as currently this is not a life-threatening situation, but it could easily be upgraded to one. Yeah, that MCD was already upgraded to a severe thunderstorm watch, Caleb. By the way, if you think you're getting severe weather out of those storms in Iowa, you'd be wrong. Just to tell you that. All right, we're going to bring this down to Wichita because I do believe this is going to go pretty strong. This looks like a very dangerous situation that could unfold here towards Wichita. Again, so those, wait for the new scan there. There you go. So these few pixels you see in here, upwards of 80-mile-per-hour winds with them. So that's 80-mile-per-hour winds about 800 feet off the surface. So that doesn't mean you're seeing 80-mile-per-hour winds over Garden Plain right now, but you could be seeing winds over 70 miles per hour out there. So I highly suggest if you're anywhere in this general vicinity here, if you're anywhere in this general vicinity, that you seek shelter. If you're in any of the polygon, you need to be indoors, away from doors and windows. But if you're specifically in front of that pocket of potentially 80-mile-per-hour winds, I would be seeking shelter immediately, because this could have upwards of 80-mile-per-hour winds with it. Even, look at that. Even when it was very weak, it had a report of 65-mile-an-hour winds. So we'll wait and see if we get a mesonet that measures what wind speeds this storm may have as this goes through Wichita. We do have a couple cameras. I don't know if any of them are really that good. None of them are pointing towards the sky because they're, traffic cams. But if I could get one that's facing west, they're all facing east, 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 northeast. If I could just get one that's facing west, that would be fantastic. South? Okay, yeah, that's not going to work. We'll wait for those cameras to be impacted. The furthest east, or I should say the furthest west camera I have is right here next to the radar site. So that's the soonest we'll be able to see what this storm may have in terms of wind speeds. Back up to those tornado warnings. We don't want to stay off of them for too long. Still concerned about the potential for a tornado out here in Parnell, Iowa. It doesn't seem like that couplet's strong by any means, but if we're going to see a tornado today, it would probably come from either that northern storm or that southern storm, which are currently both tornado warned. But at the moment, it seems like the primary threat is going to be damaging winds out here in Iowa. So if you're in those tornado warnings, still need to be seeking shelter. That southern tornado warning, let me just double check. I want to make sure I'm giving out correct information. Yeah, it expires in 22 minutes. The northern one in 7 minutes. So that northern one expires in 7 minutes. The one in Centerville, Iowa expires in 22 more minutes here. Let's go back to Wichita. So if we get any velocities that are higher than 80, like 85 miles per hour, we may see a destructive severe here. That's really up to the National Weather Service on if they want to pull that trigger or not. We'll just see. But regardless, this storm is going to be capable of producing significant damage in the form of damaging winds, potentially as high as 80 miles per hour. It's currently warned for 70, but velocities indicate local areas could approach even higher than 70 miles per hour. So if I'm in Wichita, Kansas, I would be seeking shelter immediately as this crazy wind bag is going to be approaching you. Again, it is not currently a PDS severe or life-threatening situation, but it is a pocket of potentially 80-mile-an-hour winds out here. That would be now over Garden Plain, moving up to the northeast. Again, still going right towards Wichita. And I think we have a terminal radar out here, too. I want to see what that's reading. Terminal radars are typically more accurate It's not where that pocket of ridiculous winds would be. Look at that. Actually, look. Look at how much weaker those winds have gotten now. So they actually may be weakening quite quickly. So this is when I said that it was a pretty serious storm back out in this general radar scan, which was not but about 5-10 minutes ago. And ever since about then, I mean, those winds have been weakening. Now, that could just be because they're approaching the radar site. Because you can see on the terminal radar, our terminal radar is just a bit closer to the storm than our main radar. So our main radar currently has higher in velocities. Again, over Garden Plain, moving up to the northeast towards Wichita. So if you're in Wichita, I highly suggest seeking shelter. And acting like this is a tornado warning. It's not a tornado warning, but, I mean, radar indicates potentially up to 80-mile-per-hour winds here. Most likely, you're going to end up with 60 to 70-mile-an-hour winds out here in Wichita. But you never know. It's just best to seek shelter just in case. On Wednesday for northern Kentucky, I'll be honest with you, I haven't even looked at the severe weather for any days. Tomorrow, no, it's just going to be a leftover wind bag. There should not be any tornado chances for tomorrow in Kentucky. Let me go ahead and see. Oh, yeah, very low chance. I wouldn't fully rule out one tornado. If we can manage to get that perfect storm towards 3 p.m. Eastern time. But there's a very, very, very low chance that you'd see a tornado out there in Kentucky tomorrow. You have a much higher chance of seeing a tornado tomorrow out there in west central Nebraska, northeastern Colorado. That's where we're going to be looking for tornadoes tomorrow, starting around 2 p.m. tomorrow, which I probably won't cover too much of tomorrow's severe threat. We're definitely going to have to do another tropical update, 100%, huh? Yeah, because this is tomorrow's Wednesday, yep. I'll definitely be live at some point tomorrow, I just don't know when at the moment. Hurricane warnings have been out for Jamaica, and they're now out also for, I don't know those island names, Cayman Islands. Duh, yeah, the Cayman Islands. You guys are also under a hurricane warning now. We should see hurricane watches go out for the Yucatan Peninsula shortly. Actually, at the 8 o'clock advisory, we should see those go out. We'll see if they do. Okay, so it looks like they're going to let this tornado warning expire in 3 minutes, but continuous severe for 70-mile-an-hour winds and a tornado possible tag out here in Lone Tree, Iowa. So make sure you are indoors, away from doors and windows, and close to your safe spot if you're in Lone Tree, Iowa. This is a quite damaging storm that is going to be approaching your area. I should actually draw that smaller here. Right where that bows the most, so generally in this area here. I'm surprised that severe is not a little bit bigger. That's a very confined severe. It's good enough, though. Also, the tornado warning in Centerville, that's still there for 17 more minutes. I'll let y'all know if that's dropped. But it is currently still in place. I love how this stuff decided to just explode right when we started the live stream. Like, right when we started. Let's see here. Yeah, so we'll keep an eye on that. And I will I'll update y'all if those tornado warnings are updated. We're gonna lose one in 1 minute, so we'll stay with this for 1 more minute here. You can still see that bookend vortice. See how the rain curtains wrap up and around like this. So you still have that bookend vortex, which could increase the tornado potential. That's probably an MCV, honestly. That's probably an MCV right there. which makes perfectly good sense. Let's go back down to Wichita. Alright, our camera might just be getting hit now. Let me refresh it. Yep, so here's a live look out there in western Wichita, Kansas. They just dropped that tornado warning up there in east central Iowa for Parnell. So just one tornado warning remains in effect for Centerville. So this camera is going to be very close to the radar site. So you're looking at right just barely west of Tyler. Barely west of Tyler, which is west of Wichita. It is getting pretty windy out there, that's for sure. Again, this is a severe currently for 70-mile-an-hour winds. I guess I should re-update everything and put it back to tropical. I might actually do that. Okay, that just froze on us. I'll switch us back to the tornado warning scene here. Let's see. I still have a partial bit of my title left. I'm gonna save that. No, I don't think you will, Girl Dev. I do not think you will have to worry about tornadoes this week. So once this tornado warning's dropped, we'll go ahead and switch right back. We'll just switch right back now. I don't really think we can track that too much, so we're going to go ahead and just switch back into tropical activity now. You know, I'm going to put both my titles in the description, so that way, if we switch back, I can switch back again. Redevelopment, I don't think we are. I don't think we're expecting more development behind this line. Alright, let's go over to... So I'll still keep you guys updated with that. They just updated that warning. So again, that's Hurricane Beryl's current intensity and everything. We just have a, well, not just at all, but we have a Category 4 hurricane out here. 155-mile-an-hour wind speeds, gusts of 190 now, moving to the west-northwest at a central millibar pressure of 943. This storm will continue to weaken. It will continue to weaken. That is a given. And if it doesn't, then, man, physics is not doing physics anymore. So that eye is starting to close. It will probably do a small eye wall replacement cycle and try to keep that eye alive, or at least a small eye. But we shouldn't see any major structural changes to this hurricane. Iowa City sirens are going off. Yeah, I mean, you were inside that tornado warning just a moment ago. And actually, we just got a report of 70-mile-an-hour winds off to your southwest. So that's because of a severe storm. Let me show you that. It was tornado warned. It's no longer tornado warned. If you're in southern Iowa City, you should be indoors away from doors and windows. I suggest just actually, if you're anywhere in Iowa City, you might as well just be indoors away from doors and windows, because this storm could easily just shift slightly more up to the north-northeast and hit Iowa City. So you don't have to be in your safe spot, but I would be close to my safe spot because it is a tornado possible severe. So your main precaution should be away from doors and windows and staying very close to your safe spot just in case a tornado warning comes through. But there shouldn't be sirens going off anymore. That warning was just canceled out there in Iowa City. And actually, Iowa City was never in the tornado warning. The tornado warning was off to your southwest. So I don't know why they had sirens going off in the first place. All right, let me go ahead and go to this really quick. All right, we're going to go to this site. I've got to go back to all my tropical activity here. on my tropical links. There we go. So here's a loop of Beryl over the last couple of, actually that's not the loop. Let me get the loop for you. The loops are better. We don't want just still images, so this is going to be a loop of Beryl over the last couple minutes here. I don't know how long ago this, oh, this is like the last 5-6 hours here. So there you go. That's Beryl. We'll pause it right now. So this is when right here it was still category 5 intensity, and then right there is when it began to weaken, and now it's been category 4 for a little while here. So it was cat 5 earlier this morning, and also got upgraded last night. But still a really good look. I mean, you still have very large convecutive bands all the way around your hurricane here. That eye has begun to shrink quite a bit. It's not looking nearly as impressive as what it was last night or earlier this morning. Not even close. So it is definitely on a weakening trend for sure. We'll continue to monitor that as it moves off to the northwest. Still a very intense hurricane. Again, wind speeds are still sustained at 155 miles per hour with gusts of 190. So still a very real possibility that storm produces catastrophic impacts. This is your latest National Hurricane Center cone as of the 5 p.m. advisory. We'll get a new one probably whilst we're going to get a new one whilst we're live. We're going to stay live, like I said, till about 8:20 p.m. So still forecasted to move off to the northwest, hit the Yucatan Peninsula of Mexico, and then move off towards the U.S. and the northeastern quadrant of Mexico. So if you're anywhere in this cone, you need to have preparations ongoing for the potential of whatever impacts are possible. So if you're in the Yucatan Peninsula, I would be preparing for hurricane impacts right away. If you're in the southern portion of Texas, there's no need to worry if you're in this region, but I would be, getting resources, getting extra food and water, and getting ahead of crowds, because once people get wind that this system's heading into the southern Texas, or if for some reason this manages to shift into Louisiana, the U.S. is going to go into a state of panic. I can tell you that. We love to panic in the U.S. Once we face death, we just like to stare at it and then begin to panic as it's beginning to approach us. That's not the command. No, that's not a command. So I highly suggest that if you're anywhere, even if you're in Louisiana, it's just best to be ready for potential tropical storm force impacts. If you're anywhere in this area here, you need to prepare for tropical storm force impacts. Now, if you're in this portion, hurricane impacts here. So if you're in that pink circle, it's best just to prepare for tropical storm impacts. Even if you're out towards Gulfport, Mississippi, you always want to have a hurricane preparedness plan in place. So just make sure you're preparing for that. Get a bit of extra food and water. Make sure people know that there is a tropical system to keep an eye on out there in the Gulf. There's no need to panic. There's no need to, hurricanes coming right for Texas. None of that stuff. But a tropical storm hitting the southern tip of Texas is a very real possibility. And as we get closer, that cone might continue to shift to northeast. I mean, who's to say they won't keep curving it? Because over the last 3 days, we started with this cone aimed right towards central Mexico, and over the last 3 days, they've ticked it more northeast, northeast, northeast. So they'll probably continue to shift that northeast until the ensembles start to pull that back southwest. So I'll go over this too. Tropical storm warnings are currently out for the southern portion of the Dominican Republic, as well as Haiti. Hurricane watches are out for southern Haiti. That means hurricane impacts are possible, but are not expected at this point, but they are possible. It's going to be a very close call for southern Haiti to see hurricane impacts. Now, if you're in Jamaica, hurricane impacts are expected. Catastrophic impacts will be possible to the southern and southeastern island of Jamaica. Preparations need to be complete within the next hour. Within the next hour, preparations need to be complete in Jamaica to protect life and property. You need to be in your safe spot, hunkered down, starting at about 7:30, 8 o'clock tonight. You want to make sure that you are hunkered down out there and not running around like crazy, trying to get water and everything like that. So make sure your preparations are finished. We should have lost that tornado warning now. Let's go check. Yeah, so there's no longer a tornado warning in place. There's a lot of 60-mile-an-hour wind reports coming out from western Wichita. 67-mile-an-hour winds southwest of Wichita. So Wichita, you do need to be seeking shelter. Yeah, there's probably not any mandatory evacuations. However, you shouldn't need to evacuate, but if you're in like southern Jamaica, southeastern Jamaica, I would highly recommend moving northwest. So if I live in like Kingston, this side of Jamaica, I suggest that you should move more to the northwest side. This is probably going to be the least impacted area, unless we have landslides and mudslides. So that's probably your safest bet. But Kingston, this just looks like a disaster for storm surge, just pushing all that water right up. That looks like a disaster. Gracious day, yeah. You do not want to be... They need to have mandatory Look at that. Nah, there should be mandatory evacuations in place for that. Yeah. They should have mandatory evacuations in place along this area. This is not good. This is not good. Because once that hurricane starts to leave, and once that eye wall is south of Jamaica... Once your eye is just south of Jamaica, right here, guess what it's going to do? Guess what it's going to do? It's going to push all of that water right into Kingston, right into Portmore, all into this area here. That is really bad. That is really bad. So that's going to be where we potentially could have catastrophic storm surge impacts all in this area where this bay is kind of pushed out. I mean, this reminds me of the panhandle of Florida. That's what it reminds me of. You literally have this indent in the island. There's a big indent right here. Right here. Nice indent for water to just go right into Kingston. Why'd they make that so prone to storm surge? Who decided to design Jamaica like this? So this could very easily be a really bad situation for the island of southeastern Jamaica. Yeah, it'll be a strong Cat 3, maybe even a low in Cat 4. So I would highly recommend evacuating if I'm anywhere from Moreton Bay back out towards west of Kingston. So all the way from like Longwood, from Longwood through Old Harbor Bay and Old Harbor, Spanish Town, Portmore, Kingston, all the way back out towards Bradford Town. I would recommend evacuating here. That's my recommendation. If I was, if I lived here, if I lived in Kingston, I would 100% consider just, even if you move inland just a bit, even if you just move a little bit more inland towards like Linstead or even northern Spanish Town, you'll be way, way more safe. But you do not want to be on the coastline of Kingston or anywhere on the coastline here. That is the worst place to be by far. You do not want to be on the coastline of Kingston. Because as that hurricane passes, which at the moment, it should pass just to the south of Jamaica. Once that eye gets here, once that eye gets just to the west of that bay, it's going to push all of that storm surge and water right into Kingston. So that would be a really potentially catastrophic situation there. I don't know if that is undergoing an eye wall replacement cycle or not. We'll see. Wonder if that is. I don't know if Carson's here with his microwave imagery, but that might be undergoing an eye wall replacement cycle. I know it's battering a heck load of shear currently. I don't have the current observations for wind shear. I lost that website like an idiot. So, Catman, give me that website back. I know you have it. I know you have it. I wonder if I could look at it here. No. Nope. Yeah, this doesn't have the current wind shear. What about this one? Yeah, I know this won't show it either. But I know for a fact there's a lot of wind shear out in front of this that's going to try to weaken it considerably, which it already is. Oh no, I don't have it bookmarked, that's for sure. 65-mile-an-hour wind report in west central Wichita there. Let's see here. This also has pockets of potentially... Oh. Where is it? There it is. There it are. Oklahoma, what's up? How are you today? 80-mile-per-hour severe in Oklahoma. Yep. That's Oklahoma for you. I'm going to take the Des Moines, Iowa radar site down to the radar site in north central Oklahoma. Is this heading towards the radar site? Oh, hey. Whoa. Yeah. We might lose the radar site. Prayers for our radar site in north central Oklahoma right now, as there's a pocket of 80+ mile-an-hour winds going right for it. Going right for it. It might barely miss it, actually. It's going to be a very close call. So this is a life-threatening situation for the radar site of north central Oklahoma. This storm that is capable of producing 80-mile-an-hour winds, there's a very small pocket of 80-mile-an-hour winds that's going to be moving up northeast. So this could impact Sand Creek later down the line as well. But if you're in this orange polygon, make sure you are in your safe spot. That is a life-threatening situation for 80-mile-an-hour winds for Sand Creek down to Pond Creek, back out west east of Carmen in north central Oklahoma. Life-threatening situation for 80-mile-an-hour winds. So again, this is a current look at Beryl, as it is currently attempting and probably attempting an eye wall replacement cycle. I don't really want to say it is, but it probably is attempting an eye wall replacement cycle currently. That if it's not, that eye is very, very weak. It's also being hit by a lot of wind shear currently, but man, it has fought the wind shear very, very well, and is still fighting the wind shear very, very well. So we'll continue to watch this satellite imagery closely, because that's what's going to determine the intensity, of course, of this storm. They might have recon in it. Maybe. Yeah. Yeah, they're going to be sending recon into it eventually. Yeah, it looks like they'll be sending it in. I do not know when. Oh, they're east of Jamaica, so like now. So we should have recon in this in like 30 minutes or so. And then the eye wall in about 45 minutes. So just before the 8 p.m. update. Just before the 8 p.m. update. Will I be live for Landfall tomorrow? Probably not, to be honest.
Tornado warning for southwestern Cedar County in east central Iowa, southern Johnson County in east central Iowa, northeastern Washington County in southeastern Iowa, northwestern Muscatine County in east central Iowa, southeastern Iowa County in east central Iowa, Cedar, Iowa, Johnson, Muscatine, and Washington County in Iowa.
So there's your little tiny couplet of rotation right there. The arrow's incorrect. Right there is your little tiny area of rotation moving off to the east. So Iowa City, we have somebody from Iowa City here. Hopefully they're still here. If you're in southern, the whole city of Iowa City, I believe, is inside that tornado warning. So make sure you're in your safe spot. That includes Iowa City, downtown Iowa City. So if you're in that tornado warning 6 shelter immediately, tornado is imminent or possibly even on the ground. Go back in CC. I don't see anything. What am I looking for? Yeah, sirens are definitely blaring there. They've probably never stopped, honestly. They probably never stopped them. So we're going to keep an eye on this. Get it? We're going to keep an eye on this. Yeah. Yeah, we're going to keep an eye on this Hurricane Beryl here as it's trying an eye wall replacement cycle. You're going to hear that joke a lot of times this hurricane season. So if not from me, then from everybody else. Everyone else has already probably made that joke. Thankfully, this isn't impacting land that much at the moment. That's the site, Catman. I don't see wind shear on that. I mean, I see winds in it. Ooh, is that it actually? Oh, I found it. I found it. It is on this site. This is as of 21Z for wind shear, so about 2 hours ago. It's still not in that heaviest pocket of wind shear. That heaviest pocket of wind shear is over Jamaica. So we should have, this thing's going to stay at like Cat 4, Cat 4, Cat 4, Cat 4. And then right as it starts to approach Jamaica, should weaken to a Category 3 and then leaving Jamaica Cat 2, Cat 1. And then we are in an area of potential of redevelopment here. Or more intensification out there towards the Yucatan Peninsula. But at the moment, I don't see that being a possibility. But we'll keep an eye on that closely, and we'll see what happens. Looking at the loop of this wind shear. Yeah, that pocket of wind shear is moving more west, though. So if it keeps on that, that'd be really good. It would be really, really good if the eye continues to deteriorate just with that little pocket of wind shear, because it's going to keep moving west into that better pocket of wind shear. Regardless, it has wind shear. Regardless. It's pushing that wind shear out of the way. So if that wind shear gets set over the eastern Yucatan Peninsula, then the Yucatan Peninsula won't have nearly as bad of impacts. But if it keeps pushing that wind shear more west and it gets away from Jamaica, and that wind shear is west of Jamaica, then we're going to have big, big issues. I don't know when we're expecting landfall tomorrow. We'll base this off the National Hurricane Center really fast. So their most likely timing for landfall is 2 p.m. If it's earlier than that, I can cover. I can cover probably from around 11:30 to 1. So I don't know if I'll be live for that. We'll see. We'll see. I can tell you this system looks to be slower, so that it should be, let's see, how long is this track here? So about 200 miles. So our eye should be here. Our eye should be right around here by the 8 o'clock advisory. And if it's not, it has 1 hour to go that far. That is not going to happen. That's 70 miles per hour. Yeah, this storm has slowed down a lot. It is not moving at no 70 miles per hour in order to get to that next area. So they have it moving at probably 20 some, honestly. But it's slower than that. It would have to move at 70 miles per hour to get to this point before the 8 o'clock advisory. So this whole track is probably about to shift a bit. It's probably about a shift a bit to the southeast. Because it's slower. Let's see here. Oh, well, those are some good velocities right there, huh? Yeah, we're losing our velocity data. I can't tell if our radar took a direct hit. It probably did. So that's your tornado warning for Iowa City. Make sure you're seeking shelter immediately. Tornadoes imminent or possibly even on the ground with that. Still a considerable severe for 70-mile-an-hour winds out here. Now extended east of Wichita. Let me go see if we can get a view of this. We should be able to get a view of this storm as it's leaving Wichita from the some of our eastward, our east pointing cameras here. Okay, this threat's already rapidly decreasing, and it's 7 o'clock. This line's already becoming sub-severe in some portions, so hopefully that continues. So again, the area I'm currently most worried about is southeastern Jamaica for Kingston. I'm really worried about Kingston because, I mean, gracious. And Portmore, too. I mean, it's just going to funnel 9-foot storm surge right into that bay area. I don't even know if you could call this a bay at all. This is definitely no bay. Harbor. Yeah, we'll call it harbor. Oh, hey! Welcome back! Welcome back. Our eye's poking out again. Next advisory is in 1 hour, and we will be live for that. So it did do an eye wall replacement cycle. Now that is crazy. Bro really just did an eye wall replacement cycle while being hit by wind shear. That is ridiculous. How is it even possible for that one? Let's see here. Wow. This might maintain Cat 4 intensity for longer. That eye wall replacement cycle is going to help it survive. So we're looking at probably a high-end Category 3 for Jamaica. Look at the difference between these two. It drops 20 miles per hour. We're probably not going to see that big of a drop. We're definitely going to see a drop. I mean, if we don't, then gracious. That would be insanity if we don't see a drop in wind speeds there. 70-mile-an-hour wind report south of Andover. Yeah, a lot of wind damage coming out of Wichita now, y'all. That's why I recommended you guys seeking shelter in Wichita. Destructive now in Iowa. I'm betting it's the tornado warning storm for 80-mile-an-hour winds. It's a tornado warning storm for 80-mile-an-hour winds. Yep. Not shocked. Not shocked. Because if we go back a couple scans, there was that pocket of 90-mile-per-hour winds on velocities. How high up? 4,000 feet up. So that means you could be seeing 80-mile-per-hour winds to the surface, close to the surface. Boards of a trailer blown over in the tornado warning. Yeah, that could be both tornadic or damaging winds. They'll survey that damage and determine what it is. Wow. Yeah, really, really impressive bow echo there. Capable of producing 90, not 90, 80 mile-an-hour winds. 80 mile-an-hour winds, my word. Not 90. So possibility for 80-mile-an-hour winds right at that bow echo where it bows the most. So all the way from just north of Hills all the way down to just southwest of Lone Tree. Really exactly right where they have that destructive severe. That is a perfect destructive severe. Now watch the storm start moving northeast. But that is a perfect destructive severe because your strongest bowing is from here right to there. So that is literally a perfect destructive severe thunderstorm warning right there. A lot of damaging winds with that, that's for sure. So make sure you're in your safe spot here. If you're in either the red or the orange polygon, because we have both a tornado warning and a life-threatening situation for 80-mile-an-hour winds ongoing. No, not a derecho. This will not be classified as a derecho. I can guarantee that one. Unless somehow it survives for another 3, maybe 4 hours. But no, there's no way, because the middle portion of the line right here is already sub-severe. The southern side's barely severe. It's just a very intense northern side of the line right in here, right in and around here. All right, let's go back over to Oklahoma. Yeah, Sand Creek, you need to be in your safe spot. Sand Creek, Oklahoma. There's a batch of 80-mile-per-hour winds heading right for you in Sand Creek, Oklahoma. It's still warned for 80. A lot of severe weather happening. And then we got our hurricane doing an eye wall replacement cycle to attempt to maintain Category 4 intensity. It is most likely going to be finishing that eye wall replacement cycle as Recon approaches the eye in 30 minutes. Recon should be in the eye around 7:30, 7:40 Eastern, and then we should see our our National Hurricane Center update around 7:50, 8 o'clock Eastern. So many initials. You got NWS, SPC, NHC, WPC. That's really the main ones. Then you got Gracious Day. What is it? WSPC? Yeah, Weather Space Prediction Center. WSPC, WPC, SPC, NWS, NHC. My word. That's one way to confuse me really quick. Alright, see you later, Legacy. Thank you for tuning in. I'll still be live for an hour and 15-ish minutes, so as long as you're not lucky and you're not going out to eat, you probably will be able to make it back in time. But enjoy your dinner. So this is on the ground. Weather spotters have confirmed a tornado on the ground here. Where? I actually might know who's on this. Men just eat fast, Caleb. That's just a thing. You'd be surprised how much all of us guys have in common. Every last one of us. This person definitely doesn't have it. I wonder if my friend is on it. Oh, definitely not. But where is he at? I have no idea. Well, I don't know where he is, but he's out there. So again, we do now have a tornado on the ground out here in Iowa City. Make sure you're seeking shelter immediately. If you're not already in your safe spot, you need to run there now. A tornado has been confirmed from storm chasers That is also a observed report of 81-mile-per-hour winds. I thought it was. That's why I was zooming into it. So we not only have a confirmed tornado warning, but also confirmed 80-mile-per-hour winds here. So both a tornado and 80-mile-an-hour winds are ongoing with this storm approaching Iowa City. Hills has taken the hardest impact of this. Let's see. I wish there was an exact location of it. Let's see here. Yeah, I don't know exactly what couplet produced the tornado. I can't tell you exactly which one did, but I'm looking at that western one. Let me go read the text over here. This is our only tornado warning right now. Weather spot is confirmed. A tornado confirmed tornado was located over hills. Over hills. So it's actually right here. Yeah, it must be with the leading edge. A rain-wrapped tornado. So don't try to see this storm or see this tornado either, because it's completely rain-wrapped. Gracious day! I just realized that. Look at the trail of flash flood warnings. Look at the trail of flash flood warnings from the storm. That's crazy. I actually have been watching this storm ever since it formed towards Winterset. I just wasn't actively looking at the warnings. My word. So we're currently at peak activity for the severe threat. They did downgrade that one in Oklahoma now to a considerable 70-mile-an-hour severe. And look, our eye is back. Our eye on Beryl is back. So this tornado is most likely still on the ground out here in Iowa City, Iowa. Also a destructive severe out here in east central Iowa. So this is the only area that needs to be seeking shelter right now if you are in this area here. So if you're in the blue or the orange polygon or both, you need to be seeking shelter. That is a destructive severe for confirmed 80-mile-an-hour winds and a confirmed tornado on that blue polygon. I don't remember the last time we were at an observed tornado warning. It was probably the observed tornado warning that that strong tornado that took like forever to be observed. That's like the last observed warning I recall. It feels like it's been forever. It feels like it's been weeks. I know there was some in Pennsylvania, but I don't think we were live for those. I don't think we were live for those. So again, there's most likely still a tornado on the ground somewhere in this rain-wrapped mess back in here. Somewhere here. We have a tornado somewhere in this mess of a rain-wrapped storm. This is still a destructive storm for 80-mile-an-hour winds. Did they continue that observed tag? They sure did. Observed 80-mile-an-hour winds via trained weather spotters. They also say tornadoes can develop rapidly, but guess what? This is actually already a tornado on the ground. This is now an EDS. That is one of the rare things that I've seen, and I still don't understand it, but this is now an EDS, an extremely dangerous situation. So that is an EDS severe. Which I don't know, and I still don't understand what EDS is. I still don't understand it. I feel like PDS is more significant than EDS, but then again, EDS is rarer than PDS when it comes to destructive severes, so I don't know. Regardless, seek shelter. That's what it means. That's what it means. It means seek shelter. Get your tail indoors, away from doors and windows, and in your safe spot. That's what it means. Let's see here. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. The GFS has a very realistic scenario. Yeah, I honestly, if you live in southern Texas, the border of Texas, Mexico, you need to have preparations ongoing now for potential tropical impacts. There's a lot of model agreement. I'm very confident. I'm very confident that we'll see at least some tropical impacts to the southern tip of Texas, or wherever that system makes landfall. At the moment, I'm most confident in southern tip of Texas having potential tropical impacts in the U.S. But who knows? Maybe we get a last second shift again. But currently, I'm most confident in this thing making landfall here, which would be the southern tip of Texas, northeastern portion of Mexico. But again, it could shift more. It could just shift into south central Louisiana. So, like I said, we'll just keep updating you guys frequently. A lot of damaging wind reports out there in Wichita. Gracious day. We just racked up a heck load of them. A heck load of our damaging wind reports there. Go back to that confirmed tornado warning still in Iowa. There's your tornado report. So it was where I thought it was. Yeah, it's exactly where I thought it was. On the bookend vortex, the bookend vortex. That is exactly where I thought there was a tornado, but the National Weather Service text said over hills. That is exactly where I thought it was. And that report says where it was too. Is this still observed? Still observed. Okay, just wanted to double check. Where's Connor? He is in Mount Pleasant, Iowa. Just to the west of Mount Pleasant, Iowa. He's here. Where he's in Rome. Yeah, he's in Rome. Actually, Lockridge now. He's in Lockridge. I didn't have his live stream set all the way up to speed there. Not many people stayed with this storm mode, though, because it was so messy, but I had high faith that something was going to play out today, and it did. People were starting to abandon this at 4 o'clock. Okay, we got a special mesoscale discussion. We now have a special mesoscale discussion for this storm. Let me go ahead and show you guys that. So we just got a special MCD in that red area there. That includes Davenport, Eldridge, Tipton, this whole area here. Several 60 to 85 mile an hour wind gusts and or QLCS tornadoes are likely in the next couple of hours, which I would say all the way until about 8:30. Like I said, I think 8:30 is when this stuff's really going to start decreasing. 8:30. So if you're in that red outline, which includes Davenport, prepare for the potential of 85 mile an hour winds as well as spin up tornadoes. They did put that a little bit north. I noticed that, but still good. But they put that a little bit north. Probably should have been a bigger MCD there, but better something than nothing. So there's our Hurricane Beryl for those of you tuning in for the hurricane here. It's attempting an eye wall replacement cycle. It ain't going too well yet. It's trying to get its eye back, but maybe it won't. Maybe it won't. I've seen a lot of failed eye wall replacement cycles. As well as we will also be getting recon into this here very, very soon. Let's see. I don't know exactly where recon is, actually. Recon, where you at? 9 minutes go. The heck? Well, this says recon's in it, but I don't think that's correct. Yeah, I think we have, this is, we have like 3 recons in this thing. We have recon 11 and 12 in it, and something happened to recon 10. This is recon 10, but it kind of went yonk, yonk, yonk. Like, they took the long way around. So, I'm going to be watching recon at 12, which is going to be this bad boy right... Where is it? Right here. I'm pretty sure that's recon 12. That's the one I'm going to be watching. Yep, we have an observed tornado warning and as well as 80-mile-per-hour winds for this severe storm. Which I can't tell you how long I've said that the northern storm, the southern storm would have the best opportunity to produce a tornado. And it did. Oh, hey, we got 2 out of this bad boy. Look at that. We got 2 tornadoes out of this bad boy. That southern storm didn't do it because it was too messy. So the northern one, like I said, would be the best opportunity today. And turns out we got 2. Not 1, 2 tornadoes. This one has a, was it 07, which is here. Wow. Just goes to show you how even radar can't pick up strong areas or even any areas of rotation. Because this couplet, quote, couplet, produced a tornado. We no longer have that destructive, wait. Yeah, we no longer have that destructive severe for 80-mile-an-hour winds, so that's good. Let's see. So we're just going to stay live all the way through this. The next hour will be live over the next hour. So we just reached, just past the halfway mark of stream. So again, we'll keep watching this confirmed tornado warning. They may extend that because of that new report that we got just about 10 minutes ago now of a tornado. This tornado warning expires in approximately 13 minutes. We're, of course, also keeping an eye on Beryl, but we're kind of doing co-coverage here. Also, that storm in Oklahoma that was destructive for 80 is now no longer warned. Still watching that considerable severe for El Dorado in Kansas. A significant amount of damaging wind reports. Some significant damaging wind reports too. So a significant amount of damaging wind reports, and some of those are actually significant damaging winds out there in Wichita. And then we have this isolated severe line out here that is ongoing, with the northern edge being the potential for up to 85-mile-an-hour winds and a couple tornadoes being possible. So quite a lot of activity happening. I feel like this is one of our first more widespread severe weather threats in a hot minute, so that's why I decided to cover it. A lot of our other threats have really been localized potential threats for severe weather. And today was we're going to see severe weather, and we're definitely going to have the risk for a tornado or 2. So that's why I planned a live stream. Now, models don't show this stuff weakening until 10. HRRR just extended this threat for another 2 hours out here in Iowa, which is a very real possibility. It's really just going to be that northern edge that's a big deal. And we can't fully rule out a brief tornado or a brief instance of 70-mile-an-hour winds in this area. But your main area for 70-plus mile-an-hour winds and a couple tornadoes will be up here. Oh, no, you're still not going to get anything, Caleb. Don't worry. Don't worry, you ain't going to get anything. Let's see if they put an MCD out for you. Probably not. Nope. Hold on, I gotta do something really fast. This area right here won't see anything too crazy. I don't know if we have other people watching from East Peoria, but if your name is Caleb and you mod my chat, you won't see anything in this area. Not even a drop of rain. Now, if you're anybody else in East Peoria, you're probably going to get a couple drops of rain. I got to be careful because I don't know if we have anybody else from that area. Also, that's no longer significant for El Dorado. They just extended that, so that's good news. That storm should continue on a weakening trend. And no need for the one in Oklahoma anymore. I'm still going to keep that radar site open just in case. But our main radar site's going to be the Davenport one, and as well as just looking at the satellite imagery on Beryl over here. We'll also see what the 00Z has tonight. We won't be live for that, but I'll watch it rendering. I don't plan to do a live stream in terms of the severe weather coverage, but we should be live around
tornado warning for Cedar County in east central Iowa, Scott County in east central Iowa, southeastern Johnson County in east central Iowa, Muscatine County in east central Iowa, central Clinton County in east central Iowa, Cedar, Clinton, Johnson, Muscatine, and Scott County in Iowa.
That's right, I indicated. I did say 11 a.m., but honestly, it just depends on the forecast. Just make sure you're subscribed to the channel with the notification bell set to all so you know when I go live again tomorrow, or when I go live tomorrow. I don't plan for a live stream tonight unless Beryl gets re-upgraded to Cat 5 intensity. That will warrant an urgent live stream as long as that's... if that happens at the 11 o'clock advisory, I'll do an urgent live stream from about 11 to 12. If not, then, which I highly doubt that will happen, then I will see you guys sometime tomorrow. But we're going to stay live here for a while longer. Let me go ahead and mute this. Okay. Dude, my word. I'm gonna save that for Lucky too. Alrighty, Outbreak tonight? No. I might play it offline without streaming it, but I don't plan to stream Outbreak. That's a big tornado warning. Caleb just said that. I just realized that, Caleb. Hold on. I gotta make the tweet. Hurry. Twitter. Canada type warning. There we go. How many people are in that? There's got to be like at least 100K. 244,000 people inside that. Wow. Oh, sorry, I can't tell, Pez. You're blocked. Beat Nightbot. Yeah, that is a big tornado warning. That's probably one of the biggest warnings I've seen. The U.S. issue, actually. A National Weather Service issue. Imagine not blocking you. The way you act. I ought to get you out of my chats, too. So if you're inside that tornado warning, make sure you're in your safe spot. Most likely that is going to be, hold on. Most likely that's going to be a basement or a storm shelter. Basement or a storm shelter. If not, the most interior room of your home, in the bathroom, away from all doors and windows. That's most likely, like I said, going to be your bathroom. So just make sure you are, again, indoors, away from all doors and windows, in your safe spot. I got very distracted. This might get warned here shortly.
Tornado warning for West
that
Central Jackson County in East Central Iowa.
If that's it, I'm gonna
Dubuque
flip.
County in Northeastern
No
Iowa.
way.
Northern Jones County in East Central Iowa. Southeastern
That's
Delaware County in
I'm
Northeastern Iowa. Delaware, Dubuque, Jackson,
I'm gonna wait
and Jones County in Iowa.
I'm gonna wait right here. And I'm gonna wait and see if this gets warned, because I literally just saw that couplet. And I saw that it was a supercell. You can see the little indent right here. You've got a little indent right there. And that's normally going to be the potential for a tornado there. As long as there's a couplet. And there is a couplet. So that's what immediately got my attention. I'm waiting. Oh my goodness. That is wild. I promise I did not know that was going to get warned. Oh my goodness. I cannot believe that. That's crazy. I just do that way too frequently, but it surprises me every single time. Still have it. I still got it. We do that very frequently, but it still catches me off guard. I swear it's almost pretty much every time we do live coverage on a tornadic event, we get something. That is crazy. I'm gonna flip. No, I said I'm gonna flip like I'm gonna flip out. I'm not doing no back flip or front flip over here. I already get a nice face full of carpet if I do that one. You're not getting me to do a front flip or a back flip. Hurricane hunters are going into the northeast quadrant of the eye, per se. I guess it's an eye. Oh, well, it's gone now. Oh, never mind, it's back. Yeah, hurricane hunters are, I think they're in this quadrant. Actually, we could look. Come on now. They're not this stupid. Let me go over to this one. Is it that one? Nope, there you go. Yeah, they are inside this area here. So they're going to go right into that northeast quadrant of the eye. There is not an eye here. I'm quite confident that there is no eye, like clear eye, blue sky type ordeal here. It's really still undergoing that eye wall replacement cycle, which may actually promote it to be a lot weaker at the moment. We're still at a confirmed warning until that one drops in approximately 100 seconds. Yeah, Legacy had to go eat. TRT backflip. I wish I could do one, but no. Nope. I'm not that good. Oh, it's a birthday, Parliament? Happy birthday. Everyone wish Parliament a happy birthday. Let's see if this one's doing anything up here. Not yet. You gotta tell me when it's your birthday, Parliament. Come on now. So we just, Isba had a birthday 2 days ago, and we were live, of course, 2 days ago, and then Parliament has a birthday today, and I'm sure a lot of people have birthdays in late June and early July, including me. I have one in late June, June 25th. I almost said July 25th. June 25th is my birthday. Happy birthday song? Heck no. You can sing it to him. You can sing it to him if you want, Pez. So again, if you're in either one of these tornado warnings, we now have 2 tornado warnings and a confirmed warning still for the next 36 seconds. But if you're in any of these tornado warnings, the blue the red or the other red. Make sure you're seeking shelter immediately. Now, Iowa City, you're about to be dropped from that tornado warning in about 20 seconds. Where's Lucky? Bowling? I think he's bowling. I really don't know. He told me that this morning, but I really don't know for sure. 6, 5, 4, 3. I'm going to wait for the clock to change. Okay. There you go. See? Then disappeared. Now we're ahead of it. So we only have 2 significant severes currently, and I believe they're both here. Where? Where's the other one? Whoa, 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 hold on. Do we have one of these, Okay, no, we only have one. We only have one. So we have one considerable severe here for 70-mile-an-hour winds for the next 29 more minutes, and then 2 tornado warnings. So we're going to stay live for about an hour more here. A little under an hour now, actually. Oh, 40% chance, Caleb. 40% chance for you to be inside a watch. A mature QLCS will exceed the eastern bounds of an ongoing watch issuance, or an ongoing watch. In the next few hours, trends are being monitored for the potential of a new watch. This would, if issued, include Monroe, Wisconsin, Janesville, Wisconsin, Rockford, Illinois, Princeton, Illinois, Peoria, Illinois, Ottawa, Illinois, Havana, Illinois. I'm not going to say that because Caleb's here, and possibly even Jacksonville, Illinois. It will not include Caleb's house. There will be a little tiny square. If you zoom in really close, you'll see there's just a box right over Caleb's house where he's not in the watch. Man. Honestly, though, I really don't think you'll see much, Caleb. Probably rain and maybe some gusty winds up to 40 out there for Peoria. I don't think you'll see a whole lot, really. Being realistic. Considering you're in the general thunderstorm risk, you are blessed to even be in an MCD right now. 40% watch issuance in a general thunderstorm risk is not a daily occurrence. Let's see. Where's this moderate for rainfall? Oh, yeah. Where all the flood warnings pretty much are. That's where. Oh, you're kidding me. Okay. Wait, what? Holy crap, don't scare me like that. I'm on the Weather Prediction Center's page, and the valid time is from July 3rd to the 4th, and I thought tomorrow was July 4th. I was like, what? No way. I should still have another day. I'm going to have to time tomorrow's live stream very, very carefully because I have a lot of work I have to do tomorrow. There's a lot of stuff I got to get done tomorrow. So unfortunately, I cannot promise a live stream, but I will attempt to live stream the landfall in Jamaica tomorrow. But I cannot promise it. I'm putting Pez in timeout. And go. Sit in the corner. I should have done more than that. I'll go take out my anger on the gaming channel on him. Time him out for a whole 38 hours over there. 24 hours. Same thing. Is that still considerable? That's a new severe. This one. Yeah, still considerable. All right. Lightning and fireworks go great together, but fireworks and rain do not. But lightning and fireworks, yes. I actually remember a July 4th where we were watching fireworks, and then to the right there was just a bunch of thunder and lightning, and I didn't even care about the fireworks. I turned my chair and just started looking at the lightning and all the thunder. And it was awesome. Every time there'd be a firework going up, you'd think, was that thunder? Was that thunder? Oh, no, it's just a firework. Dang it. And it never rained. It never rained. All the rain stayed to the east, so it was awesome. It was the best fireworks show. Second best. They just continued that tornado warning, so not really any locations that were dropped from that. There's no name locations that were dropped from that warning, but it still is continuing. Both warnings go until 8:15. That is 8:15 Eastern. 8:15 Eastern. And 7:15 Central. Yes, 70 timeouts. Wow. Yeah, that we should probably do a little bit more of excessive punishment for that one. 70 timeouts, that's kind of crazy. We don't start fireworks up here in Southern Virginia until like the 4th, really. I don't sometimes I'll hear an occasional firework on the 3rd, but it's really the 4th. That's when fireworks go kaboom up here. Really, the main threat with these are just damaging winds at this point. I don't see any organized couplet to the point where I think a tornado may be on the ground. But just remember, a tornado warning means a tornado is imminent or possibly even on the ground. Catman has 2. Yeah. A lot of them are coming from Nightbot with you having a caps lock on. They're not like actual, you know, a timeout from Nightbot is a lot different than a timeout from a mod. I want to drive up to Pennsylvania to see y'all's fireworks. I think any state's fireworks would be better. You know where I really want to go? Like Dallas or San Antonio, Texas. That's where I want to go for fireworks sometime in my life. I'd love to go there for the 4th. Really just waiting for the recon data to update. They're deciding to take 30 minutes at a time over here to update data. That's really not even being over-exaggerated either. Oh, we're about to have 2 recon in this. Yeah. About to have 2 recon in this. Oh, they're almost already in it. What? Wow. Oh. Well, never mind, y'all. Beryl's gone. It just disappeared. It's no... Oh, never mind. It's actually about to complete that eye wall replacement cycle again. It's really trying. It is really, really trying to get that eye back. But it might not be able to do it before those hurricane hunters get into it. Yeah, I don't see anything concerning in terms of tornadic potential with this line. But it's definitely going to have the potential to continue over the next 2 hours here. I said 8:30. I'm now extending that till 9:30. With the new data that we've received as well as the meso analysis, it looks like this line could last a bit longer with damaging winds up to 60. Up to 70 in this area here. This area we could have up to 70 mile-an-hour winds in this very small corridor. But elsewhere in the black here, it's really 60 being a possibility. It is currently a high-end Category 4 with winds of 155 miles per hour. So it's currently just 2 miles per hour shy of a Cat 5. And that recon data should help it. It should be bumped down to about 150, maybe even 145 at the 8 o'clock advisory. We should not see this thing strengthen, period. Worst case scenario is it maintains, but it should never increase on any advisory. It should never increase miles per hour. And if it does, that's not forecasted, and that's very bad news. Which is all that Beryl has been. No model has ever matched Beryl's intensity perfectly for a model run. No model run has been dead right on the intensity of Beryl. If you're wondering why those storms in southern Kansas and north central Oklahoma died off so rapidly, there's 4,500 instability in place, but the capping is now building in rapidly. So that's what's killed off those storms in north central Oklahoma, southern Kansas. We still have a little pesky area of them continuing out there. And look at that, a report of 70-mile-an-hour winds. So they may up this back to a significant severe for 70. The capping is in place out here, but these storms are sustained enough to the point where they're continuing to go. All right, let's go back over to... We just got a considerable severe out here for Smithville. Oh. Well, that's got an interesting structure to it now, doesn't it? That's got one of them North Carolina fake hook echo type structures. Oh, that may not be fake. We might actually have a little air rotation with this storm near Smithville in north central Missouri. So keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on that one. It could be a very low chance for a brief tornado. Just some spinny cloud possibilities here as this storm progresses north of Smithville in Missouri. Main potential with this will be damaging winds up to 70 mile per hour. 70 mile per hour winds there. All right, let's go all the way back down here. Refresh our hurricane hunters. 2 of them. Now, see, that's what I don't get. Why not hold off on one of the hurricane hunters? Why not hold off? This dude really came from freaking Louisiana? That's wild. Literally from 2 p.m. They've been flying for 5 hours. Gracious. They've been flying for 5 hours. See, now why can't you let those hurricane hunters that have been flying for 5 hours get into the hurricane and wait for these hurricane hunters? Wait for them. Don't send them out yet. Wait until our other hurricane hunters start running out of fuel and have to go back. Then send these guys out. Don't send them both out at the same time, because then you're just wasting fuel. And also wasting very much valuable information, too, because you could get round-the-clock data from Recon if you schedule these flights perfectly. Which I really don't get why they don't do that, honestly. I really do not get why they don't do that. So, Davenport, you still need to be seeking shelter. This is a very long duration tornado warning, still for 31 more minutes. We will be concluding the stream when this tornado warning ends, but we'll still be live until it ends. We will be live until that tornado warning completely ends. We're not going to have the National Hurricane Center update until 8 o'clock, because they're going to need that recon data, and then they will update it. I'd be pretty surprised if they do it without recon data. But then again, they did that yesterday. They did that yesterday. So I believe we had 2 tornadoes in east central Iowa today. I think that's our count for now. They'll survey extra tornado warned areas and any damage reports they've received to determine if anything else was tornadic. And we'll see if they can up that tornado count at all for today. Will you get a raindrop, Catman? No. Dude, Catman, we haven't seen a raindrop in Southern Virginia in over 2 weeks. We are dying out here. Our grass is crunchy. It's been crunchy for a week. We are dying out here. I wonder if I'm in a severe drought. Yep, I am in a severe drought. No, I'm in a moderate drought, actually. The severe drought is to my northeast. Up north of Chatham. Man. Gracious day. Our biggest drought in Virginia was in 2002. What happened in 2000? We went 4 months without rain. That can't be right. 4 months without rain in my county in 2002. And then our other biggest drought was last year. Our most recent biggest drought was nope, it's not 20. Yeah, last year. Yeah, I did that right. I don't know why I thought my math was wrong. Can't count, y'all. Actually, 8 months ago, if you want to be more precise, 8 months ago was my last big drought. And then before that, it was 2021. Before that, it was 2019. Before that, it was 2018. Then 2017, 2016. Then we had a long period all the way back to 2012. And then from 2002 all the way to 2005, we never had a drought in my area. I'm surprised I'm not in like an exponential drought or something right now, because we haven't had rain in so long. And it's been so hot out here too. Let's see here. Drought monitor for Texas. So Texas, let me see. You are really bad in Southwest Texas. Really bad. And let me go see here. Actually, I could show you. I forgot. Red Omega added drought monitors here, didn't they? Climatological, no. Fire weather. There you go. So you're really bad northwest of San Antonio and towards the Brackettville area in Texas, as well as back towards Marfa. And then, yeah, my more notable drought is all the way up. Chatham's down here somewhere. Yeah, there's Chatham. So it is north of Chatham where my drought's severe. So I'm in that moderate drought. Same with Lucky out here in Raleigh. Should have had a Hurricane Hunter update here. Are they any closer? They're in the eye. They're in the eye now. We're gonna see what millibar they can get, because that's what I really want to see, is that millibar. Tropical Tidbits, are you updating the millibar? Yeah, I'm down to 977 currently. Wind speeds are still up there. We'll see what they do for the next advisory. I wouldn't be shocked if they bring it down to a 145 on the next advisory because of that eyewall replacement cycle. But then tonight it's probably going to have a 5 mile per hour uptick or something. And then after that, it's going to hit the wind shear tomorrow morning, and it should rapidly weaken into a high-end Cat 3. Which is actually quite rapid. Like, we should drop probably 20, maybe even 30 miles per hour. 70 mile an hour wind gusts now for Davenport. New severe there. So still a lot of severe storms on this northern side of the line. Both the tornado warnings have 26 more minutes. Hopefully they both expire. And in about 10 minutes, we should have our new SPC, not SPC, our new National Hurricane Center outlook. SPC outlook comes out at 9, an hour and 11 minutes. Let's see here. All right. So again, we'll continue to keep a very close eye on this. I do want to point out, by the way, a direct landfall is likely for Jamaica. Maybe even more north than what's currently forecasted. It's currently aimed right at Kingston. So if it goes right towards Kingston, if I'm not mistaken, that would actually help the storm surge case a bit better. We shouldn't see as significant storm surge if this goes right into Kingston. However, I don't know if you noticed, but the size comparison between this and this, well, the hurricane's a little bit bigger. So there's really no good scenario either way. I think they're trying to get into that eye. They're going to try to find the eye here, but there really isn't an eye. I mean, you can clearly see on infrared there's a lower area of intensity, but that's not going to be, like I said, blue sky, clear sky eye. All the times are from Catman trolling me at the end of streams. Yeah. How many are mod? Me, Legacy, Caleb, Polymic, Catman, Carson, Chip. Those are all the mods. Pretty sure. Let's see. Legacy, Caleb, Catman, Carson, Chip. Lucky. Lucky. And Lucky Games. Let me see here. Wow. It's definitely more likely that this storm's going to take the northern side of this cone, by the way. I'll also give you a heads up on that for those who don't realize. This cone is for where that direct eye, where that low pressure can track. Not where the whole system can track, where that direct low pressure will fit. And I think it's going to be taking that northern side of the cone. So I think we're going to be going right like this on the northern edge of that cone into the Yucatan Peninsula. That's my thoughts. I hope that it's further south. The best case scenario would be far, far south of Jamaica. But if we get this scenario, like if we manage to see the low pressure right where that 3 is, that category 3 intensity mark there, and it keeps a little bit more northwest right here, that's really your worst case scenario in my opinion. Because again, that's going to just storm surge, storm surge, storm surge all into that harbor in this bay area. So I really think a slightly further south track is almost a worst case, if not the worst case scenario, in my opinion. Because if it was a direct impact over Jamaica, yeah, that's still a really bad scenario, but the storm surge wouldn't be catastrophic. That storm surge is expected to be, at the moment, the biggest problem with 9-foot storm surge possible. So, I mean, there's really no good scenario here, but there's better scenarios than others. The best scenario would be if this thing just tracks really far south, which is impossible. I'll say that. I will say that it's impossible. There's only like 7 mods, and 2 of them are Lucky's alt account, and then Lucky, and he never chats. No, the activity is make sure you tune in about once a month so I know you're alive. That's really about it. If you let me know you're alive, then That's good. He'll stay mod. All right, there's the National Hurricane Center update. They are not going to wait for the recon data. That's a not really a bad idea, but probably not the smartest move. Probably not the smartest move, considering we're having 2 recon go into this thing now. Yeah, life-threatening winds and storm surge to Jamaica on Wednesday and the Cayman Islands on Wednesday night and Thursday. So this would be update 17A, and they have brought it down to a 150, so it's now 7 miles per hour shy of a Category 5 hurricane, so it's getting lower and lower. Hopefully that continues. Yeah, Paradise, there really is no good scenario for Jamaica. Like I said, the most unlikely scenario is the best scenario for Jamaica, and that would be it going really far south. And that's the most unlikely scenario. So we'll see that new advisory. And we'll wait for those tornado warnings to expire. We'll see if they get extended. And then we'll probably begin wrapping it up. As that main event should be over now. Next planned live stream is going to be tomorrow, maybe tomorrow night. I don't know. I really just don't know, to be honest with you. I may not live stream at all tomorrow, so the next 100% planned live stream, I do not even know because I don't know when I'll have time. This is going to be from here on out. Today's the last planned live stream, which was 6 p.m. Eastern. From here on out, it's July 4th time, so I cannot tell you when I'll be live next, but hopefully I can attempt to keep up the nightly updates. There's not a planned gaming live stream tonight. Lucky's gone, and I don't really feel like playing Outbreak at the moment. But like I said, I might do an offline chase, but that won't be live streamed. I might actually just go play an online chase with the Outbreak community. That was fun last time I did that. So, there's really no planned live stream over the next few days, but I'm going to be live again. Really not available. Fine, I'll look over here. 950. 950 is that lowest millibar. What do they have it at on the National Hurricane Center? 943. So that millibar is much higher. So it's likely a very low-end Category 4 now. They have it as a high-end Cat 4, which is very gracious. This thing's probably not even close to a high-end Cat 4. It's more like a very low-end 130 Cat 4. Because it's doing that eyewall replacement cycle. Then it will probably strengthen a bit after that eyewall replacement cycle. And then encounter that wind shear and get torn apart tomorrow morning. And probably drop back down to 145 or so. That eye is not formed, and that's a big deal. The eye is the most important thing in a hurricane. So the fact that that's not formed is a big deal. Until that forms, this thing's going to be more of a low-end, maybe being gracious, mid-tier Cat 4. National Hurricane Center has it at a high-end Cat 4 at the moment, but it's most likely weaker than a high-end Cat 4. But we're going to just say it's high-end Cat 4 because that's what the National Hurricane Center says, and we don't want to go, we don't really want to go against what they're saying. That's not a smart idea. Because they're the officials. I will say this, though. The one time I went off from the National Hurricane Center, I was dead right. I've only ever ventured off from the National Hurricane Center one time, from what I can recall. And I was correct. The National Hurricane Center was wrong. And believe it or not, that was Otis. That was Otis. And it was not hard to tell where it was going to make landfall. At one point, Otis was actually, the eye of Otis was outside the cone. So, let's see. So we'll continue to just wait for these warnings to expire. I really don't think they're going to continue any more tornado warnings after that. And I do want to wait to see if this recon's going to get anything in there as well, which we should have that within 15 minutes. Which that is going to be recon data mission 11. That's going to be recon 11 there, so I will refresh that information until we get it. Which should be actually any second. I just realized that because that was 9 minutes ago. So we actually should get that any second. Alright, I'm going to close out this radar site in Oklahoma. And I'm also going to close out this... Actually, I'm going to move... And I'm going to close this one out too. And then I'm going to put this right there. Yeah. So we're going to stay on this radar site. And I'm going to also refresh the National Hurricane Center so I can see if they updated their cone. Which they shouldn't have. I don't think they will. But maybe they at least updated the location. Oh, they did update their cone. Yep. They have landfall at 2 p.m. on Wednesday still. Hurricane watches are now out for the Yucatan Peninsula. And tropical storm watches are out for Belzine. I don't think I said that right. It's south of the Yucatan Peninsula. So we now have a hurricane watches out for this area here. And we have tropical storm watches out for this area. So tropical storm watch, hurricane watch. Let's see if the intensity track remained nearly the same or if they changed it. They have it weakening barely in the next 5, or at 2 a.m. it weakens by 5 miles per hour. And they still have that drastic decrease. 2 p.m. They still have a big decrease by 20 miles per hour there between the 2 a.m. and 2 p.m. advisory, which is very probable. And they're now forecasting. You can see a landfall would be in northeastern Mexico. Do they intensify it? Nope. Oh, they do by 5 miles per hour, but that doesn't really do too much because it's over land difference, so we'll see. Corpus Christi is now inside that cone, though, so that's not good. We're aiming at the U.S. We're aiming at the U.S. That ain't looking fun, y'all. Like I said, unfortunately, this is going to be one of my most busy July 4ths ever. We have a lot of things planned for this July 4th. So, very poor timing on Beryl's behalf, but I will try my best to do as many night updates as possible, but I can't promise any live streams from here on out. You know what? Videos would probably be way easier. Urgent videos take about 20 minutes to make, so those would probably be much easier. But we'll just see. We'll see. I'm just going to wing it over the next week, y'all. I'm just going to wing it. We'll see. Alright, we're 12 minutes away from those tornado warnings expiring. I'm waiting for that recon data. Waiting for recon data. I don't think we'll see a whole lot more tonight. Let me just give you a quick heads up here. I really just think it's going to be this one area we watch over the next not even that. The next hour. The next hour and a half, I'm watching this area for the potential of 70, up to 70 mile per hour winds, a brief tornado, and up to 1-inch hail. And that's really the main threat. This stuff's all conditional. Can't rule out up to 70-mile-an-hour winds, up to 1.5-inch hail. With that, maybe a brief tornado, but that tornado threat is extremely low out there. And this should be, this should continue for 30 minutes to an hour for the potential of just 60-mile-an-hour winds, maybe up to half-inch hail. So not much of a threat with that. We're pretty much done with any and all severe weather out here, which that circle was way too large right here. Just that one storm that's hanging on to the environment. Yeah. This stuff already looks way weaker. Still not getting that recon data. Just a waiting. Interesting. SPC just issued an MCD saying the complete dead opposite of what I just said. The lower level jet is expected to increase over the next hour or so with the approaching shortwave. So the potential of an MCS with damaging winds will increase. So it seems like this threat is increasing in terms of damaging winds, but that's really the main issue. That's really the main issue there is just damaging winds. Yeah, I do see that increasing. Yeah, I see that. On the northern side especially, up here, I definitely see that increasing quite a bit over the next... that could be for the next all the way till 11 o'clock Eastern, 10 o'clock Central tonight for the potential of up to 70-mile-an-hour winds there. I do see that now that they mention it. I didn't even look at all my model runs down there. I do see that. So I agree with them on that. Really, other than Beryl, the tropics are relatively keyword. We've got that 20% chance for tropical development out of the 96L, which is really dead now. That thing's not alive. So it relatively should be inactive. Instead of saying the Q word, I'll say that. It should be relatively inactive in the tropics. We still could see a spin-up tropical storm for over the next week or so in the Eastern Pacific, but that shouldn't impact land. But we'll monitor that for potential tropical storm conditions out there in the EPAC. So it's really Beryl that's the main focus. There's not really much more to talk about in the tropics than that. Just to show you your new National Hurricane Center advisory there. Again, pink is a hurricane watch. Hurricane watch in pink. Blue is a tropical storm warning. Red is a hurricane warning. Yellow is a tropical storm watch. You can see all that stuff down here. Down here. And here's the 3-day forecast. So this is your more accurate forecast here. So, yeah, definitely going to keep an eye on it. That's for sure. I will not be forgetting about this system anytime soon. That is for sure. All right, those tornado warnings should expire in 7 minutes, and then we'll start concluding right when those expire. Let's see here. All right, so we're gonna just wait for this stuff to expire, and then we are gonna call it quits. Also, I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Make sure you hit that like button on the way out. We hit our like goal of 50 likes, which is 50 likes is our coverage live streams. Well, really, we rotate the likes between 50 and 100, honestly, per live stream. And thank you guys for helping me reach over 1,000 people today. Thank you, mods, for mod and chat. We're not going to head to the ending screen yet. We're going to wait for these warnings to expire. Then we will head to that ending screen and begin concluding. That tornado warning just expired more north. So it's just this one for 6 more minutes, and then that is it. Connor just concluded his live stream 36 seconds ago. I completely butchered that name. I butchered it again. Let me backspace, and there you go. Make sure that's muted. All right. Oh, the recon. The recon. Did they go through it? Yeah, they did. Okay, what millibar? Dude, they hung. They had some issues finding the eye. They had some issues finding the eye. Look at that. They went whoop, 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 trying to find that eye, and looks like they got down to about a 948, 947. 947 is the lowest I see on here. So it is a lot. It is quite a bit weaker than what the National Hurricane Center currently says. At least millibar wise. Now, damaging wind wise, it's probably right around 145, 150. So, yeah, we're just going to watch this for 5 more minutes and then we'll conclude, y'all. What the heck did chat go ranting on about? You're welcome, Victoria. I think Victoria's the only normal person in that chat for a little bit there. Alright, so we'll just wait for this warning to expire, y'all. And then we'll see if they reissue that, but I don't think they will. Oh, they just downgraded it too. It's no longer a significant severe, so that's fantastic. So if that does expire, we'll be left with just the considerable severe in Missouri, which expires in 4 minutes. That expires in 4 minutes too, so we should end with just normal, ordinary severes. As long as this goes according to plan. Which is pretty rare. Yeah, that eye is still trying to poke out, but it is not having a fun time. We'll see if we can see that eye. That's what's going to determine what happens for the intensity of Jamaica. Are we going to see that eye come back, or is that eye done for? That is what's going to determine the intensity of this thing for Jamaica tomorrow. But I'm going to go ahead and close all this stuff out because we're getting ready to end. I'm also going to get that music up as well. Close these out. We're going to wait for this tornado warning to expire. We've got just 2 more minutes left on that. I saw that, Carson. I did see that. It's still right around that 145, 150 mark. So their wind speeds are correct, but the millibar is actually higher than what the National Hurricane Center has, at least according to Recon. By the way, welcome, Carson. There's so many mods, I didn't even notice you tuned in to the stream there. Still considerable. Yeah, there's also been a lot of damaging wind reports here. Okay, they didn't continue that considerable, so that will be downgraded in about 60 seconds. A little over 60 seconds, actually. Wheel of Fortune music. Yep. Literally, that's all we're doing is waiting for this warning. Yep, about 60 more seconds. We should lose the tornado warning and the significant severe, and we'll be fantastic to end. This live stream was perfectly timed. We started with a tornado warning and that eye wall replacement cycle beginning, and we're ending with hopefully that eye wall replacement cycle failing and the tornado warning as well as the considerable severe expiring, which that should happen in... I'll be ready to change this a couple seconds. How much longer? 25, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18. Almost there. Watch them issue it again. 8, 7, 6. And there it goes. Boom. Considerable severe. Boom. They're both gone. We're left with normal severes and no tornado warnings. We do have a tornado possible, though, which is this storm in Illinois. Ooh, shocker. But that is going to conclude it. We're still not close enough to go to that ending scene. We gotta wait 40 more seconds to end that. So I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Every last one of y'all who tuned in, even if you tuned in for just a second, I appreciate you. Even if you're just tuning in now, I appreciate you. This was a very fast live stream. Very, very fast. This was one of the faster live streams. So, yeah. The pressure is very high, but Recon is indicating Category 5 intensity for this storm still. So there's a chance once we end, we see a poof, urgent update from the National Hurricane Center. Because the millibar is, according to the National Hurricane Center, 943. According to Recon, 947. The wind speeds, according to National Hurricane Center, is 150. According to Recon, it's 155, 160. So they may not do an urgent update for that. But anyways, y'all, I'm out of here. I will see you guys in the next live stream. Thank you guys so much for tuning in once again. And I appreciate each and every one of you guys for tuning in. Thank you, mods, for modding chat. Thank you for liking the live stream. Everyone who liked the live stream tuned in. And if you're just tuning in, I encourage you to hit that subscribe button if you're new, with the notification bell set to all, because I don't know when my next live stream will be, but it will be soon. And make sure you hit that like button and share the channel with fan friends, social media, and of course, have a great rest of your night. Stay safe, watch severe weather, and especially the tropics, and I'll see you guys sometime in the near future. Hopefully sometime before the 4th, but I don't know. So if I'm not back before the 4th, happy 4th of July. Have a great rest of your night. Goodbye. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in another live stream. Have a great rest of your night. Goodbye.